Al Shaver with Jack Wells at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. And this afternoon, on this rather cool November afternoon, the Grey Cup champion Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Calgary Stampeders come snoot to snoot in the first game of the Western Conference Final. A best-of-3 series to determine Western Canada's representative in the Grey Cup Final at Toronto 2 weeks from today. This is the second consecutive year in which these two clubs have fought it out in the final. Last year it was over in the minimum number of games as the Bombers took it 2 in a row. We're just about ready to have the introduction of the players. The fans still piling in. There are lots of them, and a close-to-capacity crowd is expected. Jack Wells standing by with the starting lineups for today's game. The telecast of this game between the Calgary Stampeders and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers is coming to you from Calgary.
Wherever a wheel turns, an age advances, a nation grows, you'll find industry setting the pace. And BA is geared to industry. From BA Petroleum comes energy to make things happen. BA lubricants to keep things happening. From BA Petroleum, products and petrochemicals to help make new things happen. Yes, wherever things are happening. Whenever skills are needed, however tough the challenge, you'll find BA fulfilling its pledge of continuing leadership, clean across Canada.
And now with the starting lineups for this afternoon's game, here is Jack Wells.
Thank you very much, Al Shaver, and a good afternoon, everyone. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers starting offensive lineup is now being introduced here at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. We'll run down it for you. George Drucksmann at center, Sherwin Thornton at left guard, Rod Humanock at right guard, Frank Rigney at left tackle, Cornell Piper at right tackle. Left end will be Bill Whistler. The right end is Ernie Pitts. The quarterback is Kenny Plain. The left half is Leo Lewis. The right half, Ron Latterell, Charlie Shepard, and Roger Hagberg, the double fullbacks. So now the Calgary Stampeders are being introduced here. The offensive lineup. And it's Dale Parsons, number 62 at center. And number 62 is Don Lussey. Number 51 coming on your screen now is Anderson. Number 60 is Holmes. Number 45 is Hector. This may be the big surprise of the starting lineup. Number 54 is Ernie Dangine of the Calgary Stampeders. Number 55, Wayne Harris, who is the West nominee for the outstanding lineman in Canadian football. Number 11 is Bill Britton. And number 10 is Jerry Keeling. Number 25 coming onto your screen now is Miller, who had a tremendous series against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Number 22 is Lavelle Coleman. Number 21 is Harvey Wiley, the nominee for the West for the outstanding Canadian-born player for the Stanley Award. And that will be made known, of course, just about a week from today. So the starting lineup for the Calgary Stampeders: Dale Parsons, Bill Crawford at left guard, Hal Grebs at right guard, Ron Albright at tackle, Roy Djokonovich at right tackle, Pete Manning at left end, Phil Lohman at right end, Eagle Day as the quarterback, Ed Buchanan at left half, Jim Dillard at right half, Earl Lunsford and Larry Robinson at fullback and flanker. And there you have the starting lineups for today's ball game. Al, there was no spectacular changes. Possibly the only surprise was the fact that Childress is not dressed today.
Childress played the second game of the semifinals in place of Don Luzzy, a defensive tackle, Jack. But today they want the weight against this big Winnipeg club, so they put Luzzy back in there. He had a minor injury, but he's okay now. The officials, number 1, the referee, Paul Dojak of Regina. Number 2, the senior umpire is Bill Nairn of Winnipeg. Number 3, the junior umpire is Taylor Patterson from Regina. Number 4, the head linesman is Tom Cheney of Calgary. Number 5, the field judge is Jim Piper of Edmonton. And ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Chilly afternoon here in the foothills city. The temperature 24 degrees. The wind from the south-southeast at 10 miles an hour. The sky is overcast. A very dull afternoon, and a light snow is expected to fall during the game. The field is in good shape, a little hard, but not too hard for cleats. They're all wearing cleats out there. The Bombers at the north end to the left, the Stampeders the south end to the right, Calgary in the light sweaters, the Bombers in the dark sweaters. Larry Robinson, number 15, stepping back for the kickoff. And back to receive for the Bombers, Lewis and Jansen. And here's the kickoff, and away we go. Down to the 15-yard line to Jansen, the 20, the 25, the 30, over one of his own blockers and brought down on the 35-yard line. The tackle for the Stampeders by number 57, Reg Fleming. And it's 1st and 10 for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on their 34.5-yard line. Bombers offensive backfield at quarterback Kenny Plain, the halfbacks Leo Lewis and Ron Latterell, and the fullbacks are Charlie Shepard and Roger Hagberg. Plain in number 11 on the screen, down on one knee, and it's George Bruxman over the ball. Latterell in motion, the pitch is to Shepard. He runs into Pat Holmes, and Holmes pushes him back after a gain of about 2. Pat Holmes, number 60. In his first year with the Stampeders, a big defensive tackle. It's a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down for the Bombers, 7 yards to go, and out comes the Calgary trainer, Larry Chase. Apparently we had somebody shaken up on that play on the far side of the field. 62, Don Luzzy. No, Luzzy's all right. There's somebody behind him. Here he is. We'll get him for you in a moment. Could be 54. It is Dan Jean. Number 54, Ernie Dan Jean, one of the top interior linebackers in the Western Conference, limping noticeably, as you can see. In comes Phil Lohman, number 77, to play the inside linebacking position with Wayne Harris, and Dan Jean trots on.
You know, Al, this could be a big difference for the Calgary Stampeders. Although Dan Jean doesn't appear to be seriously injured, but he is a terrific linebacker for them. He's on the sidelines now.
Could be a bad one, as you said, Jack. 2nd and 7, Bombers. Plain to the pocket. Out for Latterell, can't reach it. 2nd, 3rd and 7, Winnipeg. A kicking situation, and that means Charlie Shepard will come in here. As a punter this year, Shepard averaged 43 yards per kick, kicking 62 times. He's on the 25. Wiley and Miller back to receive. A beautiful ball coming down to the 24, taken by Miller, to the 30, and pinned on the 31-yard line. Bill Whistler, 79, was down there. So was Rod Humanock, 54. And there's a flag on the play. Could be piling. The original tackle by 67, Rigney. Phil Lohman will go both ways until Dan Jean gets back. Lohman is the Stampeders' strong side end. The Stampeders' strong side consisting of Krebs at guard, Jukanovic at tackle, Lohman at end, and they could line up to either right or left of center. Jim Dillard, number 20, the halfback, will always line up beside the strong side, which is now to the right. Robinson is flank right, the wide man. The left end Manning split. Buchanan is in the slot. The handoff to Lunsford through the middle, brought down on about the 49 or 50-yard line. In on that tackle, number 44, Warren, 62, Savoy, and 63, Patrick. The gain on the play is close to 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 Stampeders, just short of their 50. A special welcome to all of the football fans watching the telecast this afternoon in eastern Canada. Flanker Robinson left, strong side left, Buchanan to the right, and the right end Manning split. Dillard in motion right, takes the handoff, ducks the tackle from Herbie Gray to the 50, the 55 for the first down. Forced into touch at the Bombers' 54-yard line by Savoy and Miller. And there's the first down in the ball game.
Bringing you Canadian professional football is BA's way of saying thank you for turning in all year round. That made a great block on that last play, Al.
Harvey Wiley taking the pause that refreshes in front of the Stampeder bench. 1st and 10 Stamps on the Bomber 54. Robinson flank left, the right end split, and Buchanan in the slot. Dillard and Lunsford back for the handoff. Goes to Dillard. To the 50, and driven back from the 46-yard line. The tackle by Nick Miller, who's playing the corner for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Nick Miller, 24. Jim Dillard, a rookie with the Stampeders this year from Oklahoma State. Big boy. In the East today, the Hamilton Tiger Cats came from behind to down the Montreal Alouettes 28-17 for an 11-point lead in the total point Eastern Final. 2nd and 2. The handoff to Dillard again for the 3rd time in a row. Crosses the 45. A nice low shoestring tackle by Gar Warren with some help from Miller. The ball to the Winnipeg 44, close to a first down. They're checking this one carefully. The referee, Paul Dojak. That's Herbie Gray, number 53, also out there trying to line it up in his sights, and they want the change. The Bombers, incidentally, are favored by 4 points today, and they are quoted as 2-1 favorites to win the series.
There's one big change in the Calgary lineup for this afternoon, Al, and that is Tony Pajikowski, who was voted the outstanding Canadian player last year. Tony's out with an ankle injury, but they have a young fellow in there by the name of Krebs, and on those running plays to the right, with Dillard carrying, Krebs has made the key block on all 3 occasions.
Stampeders 1st and 10 on the Bombers 44. Winnipeg lines up in defense 5-4-3. Right end is split. Buchanan slotted. Dillard to the left with Robinson. The handoff to Buchanan on the sweep. The guards are pulling, and Buchanan is stopped right on the line of scrimmage. That's Gar Warren, 44, on top of him. He got help from Delbo and Rahaus. The guards pulling again. They're pulling them all over the place today, John.
Well, you know, Calgary have been noted for those 2 pulling guards this year. Al, I don't think there's a club in the conference, especially the Western Conference anyway, that have fine pulling guards like the Calgary Stampeders. And Grabs is filling in for Pajikowski, as we mentioned before, and doing an outstanding job. He has ever since he took over from the Pad.
Stampeders 2nd and 10 on the Bomber 44. Lunsford straight back, and to his right, Dillard. Eagle Day back to throw. The rush from Delbo, it's good to Lunsford to the 40, to the 35, down to the 32-yard line. The tackle by Burkholder, and they put it on the 53, or the 33. It's a first down.
You may recall in Regina, Al, when the Stampeders played the Rough Riders, Eagle Day was yelling for a little less noise when he was calling the plays. I expect that when the Bombers go into that offensive formation, that this Calgary crowd will be giving you some of the same.
Calgary 1st and 10 on the Bomber 33. The left end split. Lunsford and Buchanan are the setbacks. Double flankers right. Lunsford on the slant across the 30 to about the 27. They tackle by Rawhouse, the safety, number 70, and number 62, Savoy, defensive tackle, who, Jack, was Winnipeg's nomination for Lineman of the Year.
That's right.
Had a fine season. Roger Savoy.
I think he's played with the Bombers 12 consecutive seasons, Al, and I think this is his finest year.
Calgary 2nd and 4 on the Winnipeg 27. Robinson goes wide to the right. Buchanan is to the left, and the left end Manning is split. Setbacks 20 Dillard, 27 Lunsford. Lunsford again piling over the 25 to about the 23. He will be close to a first down. 62 is Savoy, and on that tackle again was 63 Patrick, the middle guard. A measurement is required again. The telecast of this game between the Calgary Stampeders and Winnipeg Blue Bombers is coming to you from Calgary. The Stampeders inches short. It's 3rd down. Day on a keeper, and he should have it. Boy, look at that pile-up of players. Looks like a stack of hotcakes.
Yeah, I thought Eagle nearly dropped that ball. I don't know. We'll wait till we unpile there, Al.
Number 61 on the bottom for the Stampeders, Lou Jukanovic, the strong side tackle, and it was over his broad shoulders that Day flew through the air with the greatest of ease to a rather uncomfortable landing. First down, Stampeders on the Winnipeg 22.
You know, Al, playoff time, you can always tell when it's football playoff time because the Travelers always seem to end up at the site of the ball game. We got Lou Bruce up here this afternoon, who played a tremendous game in the Grey Cup final in 1960 for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Matter of fact, Lou should have won that award.
The setbacks, Lunsford right and Buchanan left. Lunsford was slowed down by the defensive end Gray and then pushed back by Savoy, Delvaux, and Patrick. A gain of about 2 to the 20-yard line. 1 make it. They put it on the 21. It's Calgary 2nd and 9 on the Blue Bombers' 21-yard line. No score in the football game. 7 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Almost half gone, and the Bombers haven't had the ball yet. Pardon me, they did have it for one sequence. Jump pass to Dillard, no good. At the 10-yard line, Jim Dillard, it was there, but Jim couldn't catch the handle on it.
He was in the clear, Al.
It'll be 3rd and 9, and this looks like a spot for Larry Robinson to come in, the Stampeders placement expert, who this year led the league by making good on 61% of the field goals he tried, 8 out of 13. That was the highest percentage, 61%. Jerry James kicked 12 good ones and led the league in that department, but his percentage was only 44. Keeling holding. It's up, and it's good. With 7 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the Stampeders lead 3-0.
Courteous service, quality products, and televised Canadian professional football are brought to you by the BA dealer in your neighborhood.
The Bombers will scrimmage from their 35-yard line, and Winnipeg now in possession for the second time in the game. The two clubs go back to Winnipeg on Wednesday night for the second game, and if a third is necessary, it'll be played in Winnipeg a week from this afternoon. The handoff to Hagberg, who was left to the 40, Somebody's helmet came off. By golly.
That looked like
It was, it was a Bomber helmet that popped high into the air. Let's see, 54, Humanuk, the guard. And, well, that's body contact for you at its rip-roaring best, Jack. That helmet popped straight up. The gain is a little better than 5, about 5.5. The Bombers are second and 4.5 to go on their 40.5-yard line. Lotterell and Lewis flank right. The pitch out is to Hagberg, and he's stopped on the 43 and pushed back. Harris and Dan Jean, the interior linebackers, in on that tackle. 70 Furlong, the defensive left end, and Luzzy, 62, the defensive left tackle. The Bombers are 3rd and 2 on their own 43. Dan Jean is back in the lineup for the Stampeders. Calgary sending back to the right 21 Wiley, to the left 25 Miller as punt receivers, and Charlie Shepard back on the Winnipeg 30 to punt. The ball bounces, rolling back to the 25, gets by Wiley, fumbled by Miller, picked up by Wiley, and the 20 gets away from Rigney, and then a hard tackle by Whistler, 79. Stampeders on their own 20, 1st and 10. Jack, I think we're going to see some great defensive football here in this series. The two clubs very alert defensively all throughout the season. They each recovered 18 of their opponent's fumbles this year, and the Bombers led the league in pass interceptions with 22. Manning splits left. Robinson is flanked to the right. Setbacks are Dillard and Lunsford. This is Dillard slanting to the 25. Thornton, 14 in on the tackle with 70 Rawhouse and 52 Burkholder. The gain is about 5. It'll be 2nd down, Stampeders, 5 to go on their 25-yard line. 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Calgary 3, Winnipeg no score. Robinson flanks left. The right end splits. Eagle Day calls signal. This is Buchanan sweeping the left side. The guards are pulled. Nice blocking there. The 30, the 35, 40, 45. He's jarred loose from the ball by Rawhouse up on the 50-yard line. He may have got into touch a little earlier, though. We'll see where they spot it. At the 44, it's a 1st down. And once again, Crawford and Krebs pulling guards, leading the blocking.
I don't think you'll see sharper pulling guards than those two fellows out there today, Al. They're terrific. Of course, this has been Calgary's strong point all year.
They've got great guards, just like the old Piper-Kotowicz combination of the Bombers, who were the best in the country while they were playing those positions. Kotowicz, of course, is retired, and Piper is now playing tackle. 1st and 10 Stampeders at their 44. The pass, no good for Manning at the 55. The telecast of this game between the Calgary Stampeders and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers is coming to you from Calgary. Stampeders 2nd and 10 at their 44.5. Manning splits left. Dillard set right with Robinson. Day's pass is intercepted right into the arms of Thorson on the 55, the Calgary 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15-yard line, and it was Larry Robinson, number 15, who finally got to fleet Dick Thornton. And there is what we meant when we said a few minutes ago that you're going to see great defensive football in this series. Thornton coming up with a tremendous pass interception.
I have on the records handy, Al, but Thornton has made some key pass interceptions for the Bombers on more than one occasion this year, but there was a big one for him. There's only one thing for sure that we know about this ball game, that one of these clubs will be in CNE Stadium 2 weeks from today.
Bombers on the Calgary 17, 1st and 10. Kenny Plain rolling, throwing, and no good. Too far for Leo Lewis at the 5-yard line. 2nd and 10 Bombers. 3 minutes, 19 seconds left in the first quarter. The Stampeders lead 3-0. Last year, when these two clubs met in the best-of-3 Western Final, Winnipeg took the Stampeders out in 2 straight. They beat them here on the 18th of November, 14-1. And then 4 days later in Winnipeg Stadium, the Bombers really shellacked the Stampeders 43-14. Bud Grant from Superior, Wisconsin, where he was born in 1935. Make that 1927, and he is 35. Plain being rushed by Furlong, gets it away. It's complete to Shepard at the 10, and pulled down on the 6-yard line. Charlie Shepard, that looks like a first down. The tackle by Bill Miller.
Losey and Furlong had the big rush on Plain. You had to hurry it.
Bombers first and goal line to go at the Stampeder 6. The Stampeders use only a single corner linebacker, number 11 Britton, who will line up either right or left. The pitch is to Hagberg, slanting, driving, and stopped in about the 3. Wiley, Luzzy, and Wayne Harris in on that tackle with Jerry Keeling, number 10. Roger Hagberg, who's in at fullback today, he has seen action as both a halfback and fullback this year. He's teamed with Shepard as the Bombers' twin fullbacks, while Lewis is at left half and Latterell at right half. Latterell hasn't seen too much action at halfback this year, Jack.
This is his 3rd game as the starting halfback for the Bombers this year.
A minute 46 seconds left. Bombers threatening. 2nd down on the Stamp 2.5. Pitch is to Shepard, and he's in there for the major score, Charlie Shepard. And the Bombers go out in front 6-3 with a minute and 37 seconds remaining. And now they'll go for the extra point. Jerry James will come in to kick the convert. Jerry, deadly accurate on his convert attempts over the season. Tried 47 and was good on 41 of them for 87%. The left-footed kick is good. And the Bombers lead 7-3.
Winter driving conditions can put an extra heavy load on your battery, folks. Better see your British American dealer for an expert battery check. Do it today.
The Bombers will kick off to the Stampeders. Over the regular season, the two clubs met 3 times. The Bombers winning here on August 13th, 45-27. On August 30th at Winnipeg, they beat the Stampeders 26-1. And October 13th at Winnipeg, the Stampeders won 19-15. In the 3 games, the Bombers outscored the Stampeders 86-47. Gordy Rowland will kick off. The deep men are Wiley and Dillard. It's a short kickoff, bouncing across the 20, picked up by Dillard on the 15, to the 20, the 25, to the 30, big hole there, the 35, and up to the 40-yard line. The hole was there for Dillard, but the Bombers closed it quickly. Pitch, Thornton, and Rowland in on the tackle. Stampeders at their own 40, 1st and 10.
Dillard nearly had it all the way there, Al. They formed that channel for him. He was going straight up the middle.
Stampeders out quickly. Robinson to the right. The left end split. Wiley in place of Buchanan at the halfback spot. The handoff to Dillard up the middle of the 50 for a first down. Rawhouse and Miller making the tackle. We have Harvey Wiley playing in the Stampeder offensive backfield now in place of Buchanan.